the foundation for this conversation. The assets we are talking about don't belong to Jammeh. They belong to the Gambian people. But hence, Jammeh Commission process, the ownership
transferred
was reverted to state.
Okay.
So we are not here to say the assets belongs to
maybe
Jammeh.
they are titled Jammeh's asset because apparently until the government seized them, they were his. So you want us to say former Jammeh assets.
The shell happened after the seizure. So therefore Jammeh's title is not on the assets.
Okay. So let's say the state properties.
The state properties. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now, many Gambians react to Honorable Blaise proposal because they don't know what happened. Or probably they don't know the intent of the majority camp as far as this so-called parliamentary inquiry is concerned.
We thought they also believe in transparency.
No.
We think that is a good news.
They don't believe in transparency. They don't believe in accountability. They are not even closer to that. Now, what Gambians demanded since the beginning of this issue is for full, immediate, unconditional release of assets purchased, which price and by who. This is what Gambians want. Now, Mr. Cham, let's take the process.
Yes.
Jammeh Commission was a state process. It was lawfully instituted by the state. So for that being the case, it must be documented. You understand what I'm talking about? Every state process is recorded and documented. That's number one. Number two, the sales of the assets was also a state process.
Yes.
Every state process is recorded and documented.
Well documented, yeah.
Exactly.
Should be.
Now, what this Gambian people want to know, was this an auction, a public auction? You and I know that must be gazetted.
Yes.
And it must be advertised so that every Gambian or each Gambian is given an opportunity or is accorded an opportunity to take part in the process. Disposal of such state properties.
Yeah.
Now, if that is the case, why a parliamentary inquiry? A parliamentary inquiry, in my opinion, is only instituted on processes that are not documented or that are new. Or that the parliament want to find facts
that have not
been
by law.
Exactly.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. So all of this process,
for example, the Russian oil saga.
Exactly. That's new because there is no process. Exactly. Okay. So now Parliament wants to intervene to know what happened as far as that is concerned. But for this one,
yes,
why parliamentary inquiry? And I'm telling you, it's a route that is not even clear. First, we have to meet in the Parliament, extraordinary. Then the proposal is brought to National Assembly members. We debate over it, agree or not agree. If we agree, we constitute a special committee or we delegate it to a group of committees or a single committee. When that happens, they have to, that particular committee or that special committee will go for wider, extensive and all-inclusive public consultation where they will invite key witnesses to know what happened. This is a very, very long route that can take about 10. Look at the Russian oil saga. The committee came back to the parliament, sought for more extension of time. Imagine. So what Honorable Blaise...
So it's not the solution according to...
It is not the solution. In fact, it will not provide the solution.
So what is
the solution is let the state listen to Gambian and release the buyers of this property. That's the simple route. Because even in the parliamentary proceedings or even in the parliamentary inquiry, this is exactly at the end of the day, this is what we will do. So why can I get this thing in 2 minutes and I want to take a route that will take me for several days? So the intent is not clear. What they want to do is to manipulate the process, is to confuse Gambian more, is to frustrate our demand to get the list of the name of this buyers. But Batembedu spoke, and you can even see Ba was even reference to emails. That means that if there is record. What the parliament can do in the plenary is to ask for the records. Do you understand? By way of that record, we process what happened. We will know what we are wrong about. But parliamentary inquiry, where sometimes some key witnesses will say, I am not obligated. Exactly. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And this likely happen.
Yeah.
Most of these buyers are private persons.
Yeah.
And in our standing order in the constitution, private persons are not obligated to appear before the National Assembly. So we will say, well, they say someone, Mr. Dudeja, to appear before us. He will say, no, I'm a private citizen. I'm not obligated to appear before the National Assembly. What do we do? So this, well, now, what happened is, NPP government failure to release this assets is political own goal. And we've been in sport for long.
It's an own goal.
It's an own goal. It's a political own goal. So exactly. So now they just want to rectify this own goal. It's been in sport for longest time. How can a team rectify own goal? No way. So this is what they want to do.
You score yourself.
Exactly. So they want us to meet there.
Can be counted against you.
Exactly. They just want to meet in the plenary. We constitute this special committee. Even that constitution might be partisan, might be political. We start calling witnesses, become political. Recommendation become political. Because when the special committee is done, they will still bring the report back to the parliament for us to adopt it. And if we don't adopt it, it will never go anywhere. So that route is not a route Gambians don't understand. Let them not fall for village chief propaganda. What Gambians should stick to is immediate and unconditional release of the names.
Okay. Now,
not parliamentary inquiry.
Let me go back to you, because you know the Minister of Justice, Dauda, because we have to specify now, Dauda Jallo.
That's correct.
Had first said they would not release this list because one, it is going to infringe on the privacy of the buyers.
Exactly.
That's what he said before.
And
but in the last press release, in the latest press release, he now, or the government, now promised to do it in due course.
Now, NPP government lately became a loose confederation of government with no standing authority. Everybody say what they... Because last week, we called Solicitor General before the National Human Rights Committee. So what he told us last week was, no, they cannot release the names because for security reasons. This is what they told us. This is what he told us in the committee meeting. They cannot release the names because of security reasons. Now, if the Solicitor General working on the minister said this last week, and sometime last week the minister can come and say they will release it, you can see the inconsistency.
Maybe it's as a result of pressure or after
they are not genuine. They are not genuine to release the names of this because so many high-profile individuals are implicated. The assets were devalued. $100,000 asset was sold like 50,000. So this is what they want to. This is what they want to conceal from the public. So the public should stand by where we are. Release the name of these assets, the buyer, and where these properties are. Who even evaluated the assets? That's another question. Who even evaluated this asset? Who evaluated $100,000 assets to only cost $20,000? Who did this?
And the other thing I want to ask you, because the minister also said the list would be available to only Parliament. That was once published.
Initially, yeah.
Initially. I think, was that done?
They gave us few names.
45, 40?
Exactly, something like that. That is not sufficient.
Yes.
Jammeh's properties, exactly, is over 200 properties.
280 something.
Exactly. So if you supply to the National Assembly, in fact, that's so ironical. I will give it to the National Assembly, but not the public. National Assembly members are representing the interests of Gambia.
One would have
so for me, if you give me, I will give it to people like the Kunda.
Exactly.
No doubt about that.
Yes.
So there is so much, a lot of things happen behind the scene in the disposal of these assets, and this report came at the right time. Government they must release this asset. They are under obligation to release these assets for the sake of accountability. And we are going to hold them accountable. They must release these assets. They must release the names of the companies who bought these assets, because some of the assets were bought by companies.
Okay. If you go through the article of the Republic, it is also highlighting that well, yes, we mentioned undervaluation. That is
Okay.
items that are supposed to cost this were sold
Exactly.
a fraction of,
Between friends and relatives.
they also mentioned about the government being very much in a hurry to seek a court decision to overturn another one to release a property that they said was needed at the time for one, tourism related projects, and two, the OIC thing was coming. The Attorney General Batamid at the time said on radio that that was necessary because, in fact, he mentioned FTI, which is a tour operator. Because of the blockage of that, he said those people lost interest in the Gambia and went. Do you think that's a good justification?
My little knowledge about law. When you go to the court, you lose a decision went against you.
You appeal.
You can appeal. But you cannot appeal at courts of concurrent jurisdiction. You now go to the higher court. Now, if that was the case, if Justice Amina Shao, a very diligent judge, because she was one of my lecturers at the law school, very meticulous, very principled. Do you understand? Deliver a judgment against you. The only avenue available to you now is to go to the appeals court, either the appeal court now. But now, if you take the same matter
to the high court again,
concurrent jurisdiction with the previous high court, I don't know. As I said, I have very little knowledge in law for now, but that I don't think there was any justification for that.
Okay.
You can only go to the appeal court. Now, what Ba said, it was not his personal decision.
Yes.
But I'm also putting to Attorney General, with all due respect, anything created or do by the courts, you cannot, cabinet cannot reverse that. Cabinet it's the same court that will have to undo that, not the cabinet. But otherwise, where is the separation of powers?
But he said the contract of Augustus Prom was never in the first place instituted by a court of law. No, he was the one who, the Minister of Justice in that case, is the one who gave the temporary contracts to Augustus Prom, and they left the contract to die a natural death. Instead of if they had wanted to subvert it, they would have gone to court and end it once and for all. But they waited for it to go. And he said, according to the recommendation of the Jammeh Commission, that receivership should change, and that's what they did.
Now, if that's the case, that is why I said every state processes are recorded and documented. Now, that is where the parliament can come now.
And fine.
Republic said the one thing, Batamid said another thing.
That's fine.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now, what the National Assembly should now do, instead of this so-called parliamentary inquiry, is to request for the records. So how Augustine Sprong was hired. Is whether it is by the courts who appointed the receiver, or it is Batamid who appointed the receiver, or it was ministerial committee. When the National Assembly, because National Assembly, we can request for any document.
Bas said the documents, what he said, are documented either through emails or in the Jammeh Commission itself.
Exactly. It's either going to be in the Jammeh Commission recommendation or and even the. You see, if I talk, I feel very sad. We don't have an effective National Assembly. If we had an effective national, the first day we requested for these documents, and the minister, the Attorney General, said other thing, that very day we are going to charge him for contempt. We are going to institute contempt proceedings against him. But Bah has been saying this, no, we cannot give this, and the same National Assembly members keep asking the same question. We don't use a simple a tool from our toolkit. That is contempt, our powers. Immediately we could have instituted a contempt proceedings against the Attorney General. But it all go down to, for the fact that we don't have effective National Assembly member caused by the majority cap.